Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy G Bush once again. I want to do something a little different in this joint. Everybody done recapped the Lux versus Averb situation, and I'm not gonna go that route, man. You know, I seen the battle. I ordered a pay-per-view. Just for the record, I got Lux 2-1, and it was real close. I got Lux 2-1, but it ain't even a 2-1 that I think Lux should actually be proud of. I mean, I wouldn't be running around waving my pom-poms if I was Lux because, you know, I really wasn't definitely too impressed with the material they was kicking. But that being said, he was really saying some stuff, but for Lux, that's Lux. I mean, he could wake up and do that type material. But at the end of the day, I got him 2-1. I don't believe that it was one of his best performances. And I'm going to do a little bit of something different here. And I'm going to talk about a lot of people in this situation is talking about, you know, I want to see the Gray Hoodie Lux. And I want to talk about, is we going to get a chance to see Gray Hoodie Lux and how this is going to move. And I'm a firm believer, scientifically speaking, that you'll never see Gray Hoodie Lux again. But for that matter, you'll never see Prime Jay-Z anymore. You'll never see Prime Lil Wayne anymore. You'll never see Eminem, Marshall Mathers LP. You're not going to see any of those guys. But in reference to Loaded Lux, you'll never see Great Hoodie Lux. And science actually proves that. I believe every battle rapper has a prime. And that prime is predicated, once again, on science, on environment, and on experience. And so when you look at Loaded Lux and you look at his performances, and if his height of his performances are, to many, the Gray Hoodie Lux, giving him that feeling, that slick talk Lux, the Gray Hoodie form. I feel like I'm talking about Dragon Ball Z and Super Saiyan forms or whatever. Shout out to Geekdom 101. But Gray Hoodie form Lux was something that we had never seen before. And that form is never coming back because he can never get back to that space mentally. Not possible. As we get older, scientists have proven that as we get older and we gain more experience in life, we gain more experiences with our life, our jobs, our families, our kids, we lose our creativity. We lose more and more creativity as we gain experience in the lives that we lead. A lot of people want to say, oh, well, battle rappers, there is no prime. There ain't no prime because you can always come up. I'm always sharpening my mind. I'm always thinking about different schemes and different things that I can do. And the mind can always be upgraded and tuned. It's not true. To a certain extent, a person can always learn new things. But creativity is how you express those ideas on a stage, how you express and how you showcase those new ideas. Case in point, as we get older and we gain experience, we gain how we attack certain problems. We go through a breakup. How do you get over it? We go through getting fired at a job. How do we get over getting fired from a job? We go through how do you get money? If you on a street corner, how did I learn to flip certain drugs? How did I learn how to get my clientele up? If you learn how to lift weights, if you learn how to get stronger, what reps was I doing? What push-ups was I doing? You gain all that experience. And then finally, once you get to a point where you find something that works, you then have a formula. Then when time starts to go by and you're faced with another situation that is a problem, or you're looking for a problem, you'll go back to the same pattern that gave you the answers and you had success with. The more successful you are, the more difficult it is to switch what you are doing, to switch the patterns, to actually switch up the format. So in case in point, when we look at Loaded Lux, you look at them Gray Hoodie Lux in Lions Den, battling in the iconic stores. Then you look at Loaded Lux in the 106 in Parks. Then he took a lot of time off. Then you look at him come back versus Calico and him having that great performance. Everything past that Calico has been taken just a smaller little hit, from Hollow down to Clips, down, until now we still here. He still has the lyrical content, but the creativity and a way to put the rounds together, the material, how to go do it. Once you get set in how you gonna present the material, it's almost impossible to go back and to start over from scratch and just come out of left field in the way you're gonna present your material. It's almost impossible. You stuck in your ways, your habits. Think of it in this regard. Some of the times that you forced to do certain things is out of necessity. You're forced, in the words of Jay-Z, to do certain things. You know, when you poor and you ain't got a way out, you write with a veracity. When you live in the projects and you seeing people die, you seen people get shot, you seen the way fiends lay on that floor. That's first person. You writing that like, I just saw a fiend. 5 minutes later, I was with my pad. When you going through those trials and tribulations and you got that feeling of gravity, like I'm selling drugs, and every single time I see a cop, I'm like, whew, that's something in your heart that you go through, man. When you know you got 25 to life in your trunk and you see a highway patrolman, you know what kind of emotion that is? And you got that emotion and you go right back to the pad. When you get married to Beyonce and have 4 kids and you living the best life possible and you a billionaire, how could you possibly tap into that level of emotion? It's not possible. Because at the end of the day, anything you do is a security blanket. You could wake up tomorrow and never have to do a thing in your life again. I could wake up tomorrow and do nothing. But for you and me, people on the grind, you're going to wake up and go to work because you got to. That's the difficult part about being creative. And when your life imitates art or art imitates life, and that's what you're writing about, it's so difficult to actually come back and go to that form. Thinking about it and doing it is 2 different things. Gray Hoodie Lux is never coming back. Not because Loaded Lux, it changed his mentality of he wanted to give you the large picture. He wanted to give you some different bars. He wanted to build up his people, not tear down his people. That's what he's saying. But the reality of this situation is, this is Narnia. This is the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. You're not about to go through no wardrobe and end up in Narnia because you too old now to realize fairy tales don't exist no more. That you ain't about to imagine yourself in no other world. Loaded Lux can't even go back to Gray Hoodie. He don't remember how. Because guess what? That was a place in time that you never going back to. So when people clamor for Gray Hoodie Lux, oh, I want that same feel. I want that same great. As you get older, you got a prime and you got a prime era where you have experience, and your experience and your prime meets your talent level. It's just like in basketball. You know the game. You know enough of the game where you going against Jordan and you've gone against the NBA stars, the greats. You've gone against the veterans like Kobe, but at the same time, you got gained enough knowledge to know the scouting report and their tendencies, but you haven't been in the league long enough where your athletic ability has declined to a point where it's below your experience level. Your athletic ability is still here, but you raise your IQ, and at the same time, as they come down, they meet. It's LeBron James in Miami. That's LeBron in Miami. Now, you still one of the most athletic dudes in the league, but your mind state is on another level. Your basketball IQ is on another level. That's where you reach your prime. People think LeBron in Cleveland was prime. No. His IQ was just so great and he kept his body in shape so much that it just seems like that's the prime. But really, his prime was in Miami. That's his prime, because he was still one of the best athletes in the game, if not the best. But his basketball IQ was the top of the game. When you see Loaded Lux, you look at everybody, and you can talk about when their prime. I do a video with that where you talk about and we debate where everybody's prime was, from Hitman to Hollow to different people. But for me, I think Loaded Lux's prime was somewhere, to be truthful, I would say Loaded Lux's prime was somewhere. We seen the gray Hoodie Lux. That was his prime. Calico, he was over the hill when he did Calico. He that wasn't his best performance. I think his prime could have been somewhere where he was doing Lions Den, where he actually really wasn't even rapping and we didn't see him on camera. But that's a debatable thing, but it was somewhere in that time, I believe, that was his prime, but he reinvented himself. So, he came back with a different thing. So when he reinvented himself, I already saw, like, that's not his prime. And so when you asking for those things with Gray Hoodie Lux, you got to be cognizant of it. That's not something that's coming back. And for that matter, all those different things, they're not coming back like that either. I mean, the next person to talk about like that, Charlie Clips, has happened to him. It's happened to a certain extent to Sue Surf. He got that. He cut some people off of him with his performance with Geechee Gotti. But a lot of people were starting to say that about Surf. People definitely saying that about Hollow right now after he's gone over his situation. It's a young man's game. It's a young man's game. It's a prime to this thing. It's a prime. We compare it to basketball and boxing all the time. And there's definitely a prime when you hit your peak years and your creativity is there. You're still around some people and you're doing your thing. And if you don't think I'm lying, ask yourself this question. Why do you think there's so many teams in battle rap? Why do you think it's the Cave Gang? Why do you think it's the Goonies? Why do you think it's NWX? Why do you think it's Writer's Block? Why do you think it's all these different people? And people say, why everybody camping up? Because these individuals is trying to keep their prime alive. Because they want to stay around each other to bounce ideas, to stay in that environment, to stay sharpened, to keep motivation up. Because when you don't have that and it's just you and your girl, and you going to work and doing stuff and you ain't on the block and you ain't doing none of that, all the other veterans, they were staying sharp because, frankly, they were still selling drugs. Let's be honest. Half of them was rapping for free and on cam and still selling drugs, being in the street. They always had fresh stories. They always was seeing new material. These guys now, not so much. So at the end of the day, you want Gray Hoodie Lux. Sorry, it's not coming back. It's not happening. It's scientifically proven. As we get older, that's just what happens. As always, hit that subscribe button. We're going to keep pumping these joints out for y'all, and we're going to get back to you another place, another time. Peace.